work from home mom, and I'm back to you with another review. We are going to do, it's a declutter review. I'm getting rid of all my makeup and skincare and just decluttering and keeping what works, tossing what doesn't, sharing with you what works, sharing with you what doesn't. And that's just part of what we're trying to do. I have so much of this stuff that I really just got to get through it. And so we're just one video at a time. We're just going to work through all of the products. And so I hope you subscribe to the channel, join us as we go through this journey. But we do so much more on this channel. So check out everything we've got going on. All right, so let's talk about the product we're going to review today. It is this palette. It's the Opulence palette. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. It's by Zoeva Opulence, and that is the box. It's a really pretty box. I'm going to show you the colors here. Sometimes more is simply more. And so here are the colors that come in this palette. It's a very mauve kind of palette, and it's kind of matched with my shirt today, so I thought, well, we're just gonna go with the mauve colors today. And so you'll see I'm actually wearing the Queen for a Day color right here, and I'm wearing the Get Your Glory color right here, and I'm wearing the Society Figures color right here. And so that's kind of how I pulled it in. The Queen for a Day is on the outside, the Get Your Glory is on the inside, and the Society Figures and Industrial Fortune right here is on the inside. And that's how I put together my look. I've used all different colors on this palette, and I think that my biggest concern with this palette is, one, I think the color scheme is very subdued. It's very mauve, except with the exception of this blue right here, which can add a lot of different pops to your looks. So that's a good thing that they included that. That blue seems really out of place with all the other colors that you can see on this palette, right? And I think that most of us probably noticed that when we were looking at the palette. I think it's nice that they put that on there because that gives you just variety that you wouldn't have if you just had all mauves. You'd just be looking at more of a nude mauve palette. And so I think that was a good, nice added touch. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these for you so you can see the pigment. And I think that's my biggest complaint with this palette is that I just don't think the pigment is that strong. So we're going to start from the top and move down. Now, the formula is soft and smooth. And in fact, the formula is actually kind of nice because it's not super dry. And you'll notice it's very kind of, it's got its shimmers and everything. It's just not super pigmenty, which is something that I like with my palettes. So see how that blue just adds just the necessary touch to this palette. I think that blue is super important. I'm glad that they added it because otherwise I just don't think this palette is one of my favorites. But the blue just kind of fixed the issue and added to it. As you can see, here's the colors. But it's all very mauve and goldy, and that's really where this palette is at, and that's really the colors combinations you're going to be looking at. So the last two are kind of a coppery brown, but that is your color palette for this palette. Okay, so here is my review for that. The pigment is fine. I do usually have to apply multiple layers. One of my telltale signs on whether or not I'm gonna like a palette is if I can take the palette and take the color and tap it on my eye with my finger and do my eye look with my finger. I did my eye look today with my finger and it worked just fine. I do once I've done it with my finger, I'll brush it out with a brush, but to blend the colors. But the color's there, the pigment's there. It didn't take a lot to apply the color. I'm going to bring you in so you can kind of see the look up close and personal. So it's not a bad palette. it's just more subdued than some of the looks that I do. And I think you've seen on this channel some other looks I've done on this channel. Even at 46, I still think we can pop with color. I still think we can, um, you know, wow people with our eye makeup. So that really is kind of the only thing, is there's just not a lot of variety. It's very subdued. But if you like nude palettes, if you like nude palettes with a little extra flair, which this one has, then this is a great palette for you. This is a wonderful palette for you. For me, it doesn't get a lot of use because I just don't, it doesn't have the variety that I like. And so I gravitate to my more colorful palettes. But that is not saying anything bad about this, because like I said, the blue really did pipe up the color scheme, and they are really good colors and they go really well together. So if these are your colors, then this is a palette to grab. I'll link it up down below if I can find it online. I haven't even looked if it's available online. Like I said, this is a declutter project, and I'm pretty sure I got this last year, and I've literally maybe used it twice. So it literally hasn't gotten a lot of use for me, but as you can see from the swatches, good color, good shades, and goes on really easy. And like I said, it passed my test, where if I can create an eye look with just my finger and then blend it in and you can see it, then it passed my test. I don't like a lot of tugging on my eyes. My eyes have a lot of wrinkles. I'm very animated. I smile a lot. I don't like a lot of tugging on my eyes. So I just like to just pat it on. If I can just pat it on, that's my test for me. If I pat it on and there's nothing there, that's a big no for me on the palette, because that means I'm applying over and over, layer after layer after layer of makeup just to get a color that I can get from other palettes with just a simple tap, tap, tap. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But not a bad palette, not my favorite color scheme. But if you are a mauve gold person who likes, you like the mauve gold looks, the neutral looks, who likes to every once in a while add a little color, this might be a palette that's right up your alley. I'll link it up down below. Thanks so much for tuning in. That's really it for this review. Like I said, I've only used it a couple times. The color's good. It's just a matter of, preference. I gravitate more towards colorful looks, but that's not saying anything about this palette. This palette is a good palette. I will link it up down below, like I said. And yeah, if you've used this palette and you have the same experience or a different experience, that's kind of my goal with all of these reviews. Please share your experience down below so others can read it too. My skin is not the same as your skin, and my preferences are not the same as everyone else's. So if you have a different preference, or if you found that this is like your go-to palette or that kind of thing, then please share that down below. We want to hear it. Having that ability to have that conversation with us in the comments really takes these reviews a step ahead from just reading reviews on a product page, in my personal opinion. So yeah, join the conversation. Let's talk about it. Do you like this palette, and is it your favorite, or is it a go-to for you, or is it not? Are you of the same mindset as me, or do you just not like it? We want to hear it down below in the comment section below. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.